Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we shall study one of the important lessons of class 10th subject Geography. Lesson number 3, Physiography and Drainage. Students, first of all, let us try to understand what is physiography. Okay students? Dear students, in our surroundings, we see various physical regions. For example, mountain range, plateau, basin, river, lake, plains, coast, as well as peninsula with its strait, islands and all. Dear students, we study about it in physiography. It's a branch of geography dealing with natural features. For example, valleys, plateaus, mountains, hills, plains, coastal plains, peninsula, islands, etc. Students, you can see the various features, geographical features, physical features in the picture. Students, let's move further now. Dear students, in this lesson, that is Physiography and Drainage, we are going to study the physiography and drainage of India and Brazil country. First of all, we are going to study the physiography of India, and in the second video we are going to study the physiography of Brazil. And students, there will be one more video of drainage of India and Brazil. Okay student? So let's try to understand the 5 major geographic divisions of India. Students, the first division is the Himalayas. The second one, the North Indian Plains. The third one, the Peninsula. The fourth one, coastal plains. And the last one, that is the fifth one, the island groups. Okay students? So these are the major physiographic divisions of India: the Himalayas, the northern Indian plains, the peninsula, the coastal plains and the island groups. Student, you can see in the map so that you can understand these major physiographic divisions of India. Now students, we shall study one by one the divisions of India. First of all, let's try to understand the Himalayas. Students, the Himalayas is called as the young fold mountain. Student, why it is called as a young fold mountain? Let's try to understand within few minutes. Now students, it comprises of many of highest peaks of the world. It also comprises of many large rivers like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna and Indus river. Students, we know that in Himalayas we see the highest peaks of the world. For example, Mount Everest is one of the highest peaks in the world. Its height is 8848 meter. Okay. So student, Himalayas comprises of many of the highest peaks of the world, as well as it comprises of many large rivers too, like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Yamuna and Indus river. Okay students, have you understood? Very good. Now let's try to find out the answer of the question that why Himalaya is called as a young fold mountain. Students, the Himalaya formed only a few millions, that is 40 to 50 million years ago, and so it is called as the young mountain. Students, in comparison to other mountain ranges, Himalaya is the new one, so it is called as a young mountain. Now it is called as a fold mountain. Why it is called as a fold mountain? Try to understand the concept of fold mountain. Now, fold mountains are formed when two or more of Earth's tectonic plates are pushed together. At this point of collision, the compressing boundaries, rocks and debris are warped and folded into rocky outcrops, hills, mountains, and entire mountain range. Students, let's try to see with a video clip that how did Himalaya form. Dear students, here you might have understood that how did the Himalaya form? Students, Himalaya formed because of the collision of tectonic plates. Okay, at the time of collision, the land compressed, and due to compression, the land folded together, and so it is called as a fold mountain. So student, here we try to understand why Himalaya is called as a young mountain as well as fold mountain. Dear students, now let's try to understand the extent of Himalayas. Students, it extends from Pamir Knot in Tajikistan to the east. Tajikistan is a landlocked country, the smallest country in the Asia. Students, here it is very important to understand that Tajikistan is a separate country. Okay, yes, it doesn't belong to Pakistan or Afghanistan, but it is a separate country in Asia, and it is the smallest country in the Asia. It is called as a landlocked country. Landlocked country means, student, here no water body is surrounded the land of Tajikistan. So it is called as landlocked country. Now students, it stretches across the northeastern portion of India, from Jammu Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. Yes student, here you can see it stretches across the northeastern portion of India. It stretches from Tajikistan to the east. Okay. Now in India, it stretches from Jammu Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. Now students, it covers approximately 2400 km and pass through the nations of India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, Bhutan and Nepal. Now let's learn about the parallel ranges. It is not a single mountain, but it is a series of range of mountains. Dear students, it is very important to understand that Himalayas is not a single mountain, but it is a series of range of various mountains, and most of the mountain range are parallel to each other. There are many parallel ranges in the system. For example, Trans Himalaya, Greater Himalaya, Lesser Himalaya and Shivaliks, as well as Ladakh range and Karakoram range also. So students, first of all, let's try to understand Trans-Himalayan range to the north. It consists of highest mountains above 6000 meters and mostly snow-capped. It is 1600 kilometer mountain range. You can see in the map. It includes Karakoram range and Ladakh range, etc. Students, the next parallel range is the Greater Himalaya or Himadri, the highest mountain range in the Himalayas. The world's highest peak, Mount Everest. The height of the Mount Everest is 8848, that is 8848 meters in Nepal, as well as the highest peaks such as Kanchenjunga, Lhotse and Nanga Parvat are the part of Greater Himalaya. The average elevation of these mountains is 6,000 meter. It consists of glaciers, for example, Gangotri Glacier, Satopant Glacier. Okay, students have understood. Now let's try to understand the lesser Himalaya. Students, it is also called the inner Himalayas or lesser Himalayas or Himachal with 3,700 to 4,500 meter. The Himachal range also parallels the lower Sivaliks or Churiya range to the south. The Pir Panjal is the largest range of the lesser Himalaya. Now students, let's try to understand the Sivaliks. It stretches from the Indus River about 2,400 km eastwards close to the Brahmaputra River, spanning across northern parts of the Indian subcontinent. It is 10 to 50 km wide with an average elevation of 1500 to 2000 meter. Shivalik literally means traces of Shiva, a long lock of a woman's hair. These ranges are young to old respectively. Students, here we have studied the first major physiographic region of India, that is the Himalaya. Now we shall study the second major physiographic division of India, that is North Indian Plains. You can see in the map. First of all, let's have the meaning of plains: a large area of flat land with few trees, and the elevation is 0 to 150 meter. Students, these plains lie in between Himalaya mountains in the north and the peninsula in the south. Students, here it is very important to understand that North Indian plains are located in between the Himalaya mountains in the north and the peninsula in the south. Now let's try to understand the extent of North Indian plains. It extends from Rajasthan and Punjab in the west to Assam in the east. It is mostly a flat, low-lying area at the altitude of 0 to 150 meters. Students, the North Indian plains is divided into two main parts. The first one is eastern part or Ganga plains. This part lying to the east of Arvali is the basin of river Ganga and therefore known as Ganga Plains. You can see in the map. Its slope is towards east side, as well as now we are going to study about the delta. Most of the West Bengal state of India and Bangladesh together constitute the delta of Ganga and Brahmaputra system. It's known as Sundarban. It is called as a Sundarban because in this delta or in this region we see the trees named Sundari. Okay students, and these trees are a kind of mangrove trees. Okay students, have understood? Very good. One more important thing here we need to understand, students. This Ganga delta is the most fertile land in the world. Yes student, understand it, that Ganga delta is the most fertile land in the world and the largest delta in the world too. Now student, we shall try to understand the western part of the plains. Okay, see now, the western part of North Indian plains is occupied by desert. In the picture you can see, student, it is also known as Thar desert or Marusthali. It is also known as the Great Indian Desert. Is a large arid region in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent that covers an area of 2 lakh square kilometer and forms a natural boundary between India and Pakistan. Students, the most of the Rajasthan is occupied by this desert. one more important plains of this northern Indian plains, that is plains of Punjab. This region is spread to the west of Aravallis and Delhi ranges. To the north of the desert lie the plains of Punjab. These plains have formed as a result of the depositional work by river Satluj and its tributaries. The slope is towards the west. Agriculture is largely practiced in this region because the soil here is fertile. Students, here the soil is fertile because this soil is formed because of the depositional works of the river, that is Satluj and its tributaries. Now, the third major region of India is the Peninsula. Students, again this is very important region of India, that is the Peninsula. It is called as the Deccan Peninsula also. Peninsula is a large landform that extends from a mainland and is surrounded by water on the most, but not all of its borders. It can be defined as a piece of land bordered by water on three sides. Yes, student, here we have understood what is mean by peninsula. Okay, so most in general we can say that peninsula is a land or a mainland which is surrounded by water on its three sides. Students, the Indian peninsula lies to the south of northern Indian plains and narrower tapering towards the Indian Ocean is called Indian Peninsula. It consists of many plateaus. Students, plateaus means fairly level land or tableland. So, it consists of many plateaus and hill ranges. Dear students, just now I have told you that it is known as Deccan Plateau too. Students, the large Deccan Plateau in southern India is located between the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Student, you can see in the map, and loosely defined as the peninsular region between these ranges that is south of the Narmada river. To the north, it is bounded by the Satpura and Vindhya ranges. The Aravallis in the north are the oldest fold mountain here. Aravalli range, it's a line of peaks. The Aravalli range is a mountain range in northern India, running approximately 670 km in a southwest direction. Now students, the second last major physiographic division of India is the coastal plains. The coastal plains of India lie on either side of the Deccan Plateau along the western and eastern coast of India. It extends from Rann of Kutch in the west to West Bengal in the east. It's divided into the western and eastern coastal plains. India is blessed with a long coastline extending for approximately 7,500 km. It lies to the western and eastern part of the peninsula. Now students, let's try to understand the western coast. Students, the western coast borders the Arabian Sea. It is by and large a rocky coast. Now, let's try to understand the characteristics of Western Ghats. Students, it's very important according to examination point of view. Question can be asked on this. See students, it rises steeply from the west coast. It originates from Tapti river till Kanyakumari. Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats and have an average height of 900 to 1100 meter. Now students, the originating rivers from the western coast. The rivers are Godavari, Kaveri, Krishna, Thamiraparni and Tungabhadra rivers. Now students, let's learn the eastern coast. The eastern coast borders the Bay of Bengal. The eastern coastal plains is a wide stretch of landmass of India, lying between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It is wider and leveled than the western coastal plains and stretch from Tamil Nadu in the south to the West Bengal in the north through Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. It has formed as a result of depositional work of rivers. Many east-flowing rivers starting from the western and eastern Ghats meet this coast. Students, let's learn the last major physiographic division of India, that is the island groups. Students, India has many small and large islands along the coast of the mainland. These are included in the coastal island group. India has two large group of islands, one each in the Arabian Sea and in the Bay of Bengal. The islands in the Arabian Sea are known as Lakshadweep, whereas the islands in the Bay of Bengal are called the Andaman and Nicobar. Students, here the most of the islands in Lakshadweep are atoll islands. They are small in extent and not very high. Islands in the Andaman group are mainly volcanic islands. They are large with hills in their interior parts of includes an island called Barren Island, which has only active volcano in the India. There are atolls in the Nicobar group too. Here, atoll islands means the islands which has a ring shape or circular shape, as well as it has coral reef. Students, coral reef means the underground ecosystem, and most probably in this ecosystem we found non-vertebrate animals. Okay students, have you understood what is atoll? Atoll is a ring shaped reef. Okay, yes, very good. Dear students, here in this video we have studied the physiography of India. Dear students, in this video we have studied the physiographical features of India as well as the 5 major divisions or physical divisions of India, that are the Himalayas, the North Indian plains, the Peninsula, the coastal plains, and the last one, that is the island groups. Okay students. Dear students, in the next video we are going to study the physiography of Brazil. Dear students, if you have understood this and found it useful to you, then do not forget to like, subscribe and share it to your friends. Thank you, and be connected to learn furthermore. Be studious, be thoughtful, respect your parents and teachers. Thank you. Bye.